So this is our first video for Ancient Spartan Society to the Battle of Leuctra, and we're looking at Spartan Geography in this video. We have a look at the syllabus here. The first section of the syllabus is the geographical setting of Sparta, and we're looking at the first dot point here, the geographical setting, natural features and resources. Now I've underlined each of these because we need to know these terms from the syllabus and because they identify what content we need to talk about if we're asked a question on these specifically. So we're going to start firstly with geographical setting, which is where Sparta is located in relation to the rest of Greece. So Greece here is represented in the light green colour, and we can see here that Greece is bordered by the Ionian Sea, the Mediterranean Sea, the Sea of Crete and the Aegean Sea. So this area to the north here is known as mainland Greece, and the area where Sparta is located is known as the Peloponnese, which is the area that I've circled here in red. And the Peloponnese is separated from mainland Greece by this small parcel of land here called the Isthmus of Corinth. Now moving in a little bit closer, we can see another part of land here which is called Laconia. So Laconia is where Sparta is located within the broader Peloponnese. So they're two important terms that we need to know, and we need to be able to identify where Sparta sits within that region. And that is where we've given a basic overview of the geographical setting of Sparta. The next thing we're going to look at are the natural features of the region. So we're going to move in a little bit closer, and we can see here this is Laconia. These two fingers of land here are Laconia. And the first term we need to learn is the Eurotas River, which runs through Sparta, and we can see Sparta here represented by this little small black square. And the Eurotas River flows through the Eurotas Valley, and it empties out here at the port of Gythium, which was very important for trade during this time period. The next term we need to learn is the term Messenia, which is the parcel of land over here, or this finger of land over here to the west. And this is important because this is where the Spartans subjugated the population of people, and who became known as the Helots, who worked the land and performed the agricultural duties, which freed up the Spartiates to then conduct a full-time military operation. Up to the north we have the Arcadian Ranges, a mountain range. To the west we have Mount Taygetos, which is probably the tallest mountain range, and to the east we have the Parnon Ranges. So if we have a look here, the Eurotas Valley where Sparta is located is completely surrounded by mountain ranges, which probably offered a whole heap of safety for the Spartans, because it's very difficult to attack them when they're surrounded by mountain ranges. It's very difficult to traverse those mountain ranges. And it also provided the isolation which allowed Sparta to develop in such a unique way and made it so different from the other Greek city-states. So we've now covered the natural features of Sparta. Moving now to the resources that were available to the Spartans within this region. So stones are important. Limestone and marble were used for building and for artistic pursuits, and they were quarried from the mountains that we've just looked at. Wood was available from the trees, obviously, that grew on the mountains there as well. And we have a source here, which is a hoplon, which is a shield used by the hoplite, which is the infantrymen of Sparta. They were made of wood and then were covered in bronze. Iron is another material that was available to the Spartans in this region, and they used that, mined that, and smelted it, and made many things, but in particular these plenors, which were iron bars, which they used in place of currency. Moving forward, we've got a photograph here of modern-day Sparta, because we can see a road through it, or this region, and we have the Eurotas River running through it as well. And some things that we need to look at here, that the rich soil that was available in this region, we can see how fertile it is. That supported crops like barley, and it also allowed them to grow fruit through orchards. For example, olive trees were grown, and their oil was used for lighting lamps and for cooking, and also was used for cleaning and toning of the skin. Grapes were also grown, and they had 5 distinct wine growing regions within Sparta as well. Moving forward, we have the animals that were kept by the Spartans, including sheep and goats. And the sheep were used for their wool, and their wool was prized from that region. Sparta was of a fine quality. And goats were kept for their milk, which was then used to drink and also to make cheese from. The Spartans also kept bees in hives, and their honey was apparently famous in that region for its quality. And finally, in terms of Spartan resources, pigs were kept to be eaten, and also wild boars were hunted to supplement the diet of the Spartans. And we can see a kylix, which is a cup representing Spartans hunting a wild boar here. The hides of these animals were then tanned and then used to make leather goods as well. Horses were also kept by the Spartiates. They were known to be quite fond of horses, and we have the Rider Cup here, which is another example of Spartan art depicting a Spartiate riding a horse. So this covers all of those key areas, the geographical setting, the natural features and resources of Sparta, and we need to be able to learn all of these key terms and know to which part of this dot point they belong.